Now, the longest time, fans always asking that question, why Timmy is the only one who has fairies? A fact, in the show original first spin, that people did ask the same thing. Why does Timmy have two fairies? Because every time you see a god kid with a fairy, they usually have one. Only one. And the fact is just sort of strange. They sort of kinda answer it in new ways. Also, the original fairy godparents, at least one of the answers is basically no one really understands them, just themselves, because they're just sort of kind of weirdos. So that's sort of the explanation of New Wish. But the original fairy godparents attempting to answer their own way is the fact Wanda is not as strong than other fairies. This is the reason why these Cosmo. The reason why they answered that is specifically on its first special of the Muffet Caper, that one that teleport Timmy of Fairy World, even answering Timmy asking this question, why she looks so tired, and she answers she doesn't have enough power to teleport Timmy in Fairy World. He always needs Council to back her up. And also how Cosmo needs Wanda, because Wanda is sort of her common sense, because Cosmo has none and needs sort of direction. This is the reason why both of them sit together 24/7. Not because they love each other, it's more than just love, it's sort of more than necessity, not a word. And that's usually the answers, but even that, more I keep thinking of, maybe not. Maybe it is a more bigger reason than that. Because a lot of fans do believe it's actually a very good reason why you have two fairies helping Timmy. It's because Timmy is in the spectrum. Of course, we don't know what the spectrum is, sort of like a vibration of the bigger term. It's called Autism Spectrum Disorder, or ASD, if I'm correct. Please correct me down below. I'm not a professional, but basically, if someone says I'm the spectrum, they cannot really connect to people, or difficult to actually understand emotions or social cue of the situation, or actually can't focus on specific things. It's sort of a very hard to explain kind of disorder that, believe it or not, a lot of people do have it. Some people don't understand they actually have it because they cannot really explain or how they feel. Sometimes they just be assessed a specific thing, like being in routine. If they change the routine, they freak out. Or even that they assess one specific thing, they cannot let it go because they keep assessing with it, even if people told them to let it go. But once more, they have a lot of different little things to make it in the spectrum, because it could be really strong or very low, or could be very different little things. But once more, it's just sort of a small interpretation to explain what is this disorder. Just to remind you, I'm not a professional, so I just read whatever I find explaining. In fact, the best explanation, think of it, the character Sheldon from the Big Bang Theory. That specific show kind of show you what a spectrum kind of looks like from the character of Sheldon. And that's what basically a spectrum kind of looks like. Of course, he's over the place, but it gives you at least a better idea what is a spectrum kind of look like. Just type Sheldon, watch a couple of videos, what he does, and you have a good general idea. But once more, he is sort of more a fairy version of it. But once more, it just sort of give you an idea on understanding what an spectrum looks like. And I'm thinking that is what Cosmo and Wanda actually have, and the reason why they're very important for Timmy, because Timmy has the same thing. He is in the spectrum because he cannot focus or care or connect to people, even that people are trying to actually care. Some of you kind of stop me right now saying, no, the whole song says no one understands Timmy, or everybody's sort of a jerk in the world of the original fairy operas. That is true, but at the very end, that's sort of point of view of Timmy, not anyone else. You see his point of view, and he thinks everybody just angry, upset, but no one really understand or wants to care what he feels, but they do care. It's just sort of kind of hard to handle someone who has in the spectrum. It's sort of his point of view. And this is a FYI, if you don't know, some people don't know the spectrum, or specifically young children, because some children, like between 7 and 10, you can't really tell they have a spectrum or not. That's why the doctor had to do a lot of sort of experiments to really understand if they have it. Because a 7-year-old acts like a 7-year-old, kind of spoiled, but doesn't really figure out what's wrong with the other people because they're thinking themselves. That sounds something very spectrum like. That's what I mean. Sometimes professionals not sure if a young man or young woman or young person doesn't know if they have it because it's kind of hard to really distinct of the normal being child to actually having a spectrum. That's why I mean it makes sense. And Timmy is on the spectrum. Even that the spectrum is sort of very wide. It's sort of hard to really know you have it or not because it doesn't have very specific hints, like those specific hints to understand, oh, this guy has the flu, or she has the measles. But no, the spectrum is just so wide that you have to quite literally just check if they have the signs or the signals. It takes a little while to actually figure out. Only time it really stands out if you're a teenager or adult, because when a teenager acts, you can tell, oh, he's been a teenager or is on the spectrum more easier or adult. But once more, it's really difficult to actually understand if you are in the spectrum because sometimes it's not really obvious. This is the reason why you have Cosmo and Wanda, because those two are on the spectrum because how they cannot connect or talk to people because they struggle. Some of your parent right now scratch your head. What do you mean they struggle? It's sort of obvious if you actually trying to put them in the lens of a spectrum, how Cosmo cannot pay attention or not give orders the right way because he can't actually focus because he's always distracted. It's one of the systems or many different systems of a spectrum. And Wanda just constantly screams and freaks out because everything just going wrong. Like it's not on the control the right way. Once more, it's sort of like a kind of routine. You have to do this, to this, to this. If they kind of get loose or doesn't go how it's supposed to be, or learn the person the mistake they actually did, they actually freak out. This is what I mean. It kind of sounds both of them also on the spectrum, and this one they actually relate, they understand each other, and understand Timmy. This is why they two connect to each other so strong, willing not to separate, and the reason they kind of sort of fall in love because they understand themselves so well. But this is the reason why both of them send them to Timmy because the closer people who understand them is Cosmo and Wanda. But what's more, this is sort of a stretch theory. I could be legitimately wrong. In fact, it's what is your opinion of this theory? You think this is actually holds up? Of course, before I get started even breaking more about this video, my name is Recho. I like to talk about animation, not just animation, to reviews, first impressions, cartoon theories, and sometimes, if I have some spare time, cartoon breaking news. Of course, you like how it's going, like to help my channel, put like, comment, and subscribe. That's the only thing you need to do. If not, that's fine too. If you do, thank you. Because of you, I am getting close to my main goal of 2,000 subscribers. And I'm getting close every single day because of you. Thank you. Now, let's get started of the reason why Timmy has two fairies. Now, let's get started. Now, the reason why I found this that sort of kind of makes sense in theory is because of Hazel from New Wish. How she's sort of struggling to connect to people, even she moved to a different town, different family, different people, that she sort of struggled, that she needs sort of like a sort of a fidget spinner on her own backpack, using even that is constant want to keep talking to her, that she just struggles hard to connect to other people. And that is sort of one of the few symptoms to basically be in the spectrum. Even that you can easily debate or disagree with me, that's completely fine, that Timmy is not in the spectrum or Hazel. That is could be completely possible. But even not, believe it or not, it's sort of hard to actually know if you're in a spectrum, especially you're in the kid sort of age, because kids act like very normally kind of lack of focus, less of interest, doesn't know how to connect to other people because they're kids. They're still figuring out how to connect to others. But even that, it kind of makes sense to Timmy to Hazel. Maybe this is the reason why Hazel got Cosmo and Wanda, because they're in the spectrum. But to be fair, New wish that Cosmo and Wanda sort of force themselves to connect to Hazel because they saw she's in trouble, who needs help, just to make that clarified. But yet, it sort of makes sense why they just to choose to return to becoming fair godparents because they see Hazel in them. They know, understand, they need their help. This is why they become unretired to help Hazel. And also makes sense why they are very specifically helping Pacific favorite art kids who has problems. Even that both kids, Hazel and Timmy, have very good lives, but they really can't connect to people. Even that kind of show you both kids, if they were on the spectrum, to see the different level of spectrum of both of them. One can't really connect to people, another one can't really understand why doesn't understand him. Once again, it makes sense in both characters in the spectrum, and the reason why Cosmo and Wanda choose these kids to stay with them. They easily quit or get a different kid if they talk to Jordan, but they chose not to because they relate to them and understand them so well. They know that the only ones will understand them. Even that, it takes a lot of time to figure out to actually stop using uh, fairies to help they bear their lives. Even that, there is sort of forget who they exist because that's sort of the rules of becoming a fairy. But that it could be a very interesting sort of idea because it makes sense why Timmy took so long to actually be fully happy to not need Constable Wanda is because he was a very strong spectrum. In fact, the original show does point out little moments or little jokes that Timmy doesn't have really focus or care about anything by himself because he doesn't know how to share or have compassion. Even that in the show, he constantly show he does have compassion to a later seasons because more spoiled, more stuck up, more is his own ways to not actually try to actually open. And that's I think very interesting because this could be a good reason why he acts this specific way. It's because he got worse over time, but over the years he got better because of Cosmo and Wanda. But let's face it, it's just sort of in theory. I don't know you. It sort of makes sense why, how, and Timmy act how he acts, and Hazel how she acts. It's sort of also a good reason or good kind of rating to understand how a kid takes long to get better, or at least make his better life, realizing, yeah, I have to do better. Or it could be Hazel, could be faster healer than actually Timmy, realizing his own problems, even realizing he has a good life. He just had to understand how to deal with his emotions and his own problems. At least a very interesting take now. So of course, I could be legitimately wrong. Some people can tell me I was wrong because I misunderstood what a spectrum is. Because once again, I'm not a professional. I just read what a spectrum is, what it has, and all the documents later on. But once more, a spectrum is really hard to fully understand what it is. It's just sort of a theory. I don't know you, how you felt. You think Hazel and Timmy is on the spectrum, or you're not? Tell me down below. Let me know. I got nothing else to say. Just thank you for watching. Don't forget to watch and have a wonderful day. Yeah, I mean, not forget to watch. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. They're trying to say. But anyway, thank you for watching and goodbye.